All right, as we're finishing off work with some geometry, here's a little bit of an introduction to a geometric plane that we use a lot. It's called the Cartesian plane or grid. I'm just going to dive right in this math couple of minutes. Get me out of the way here. And here we go. The Cartesian grid. Let me give you a couple different names that you'll see for this item. All means the same thing. You might hear it called the Cartesian grid or the Cartesian plane. It's named after this guy named Descartes, René Descartes. He's the one that came up with this idea. You'll sometimes hear it called the coordinate grid or the coordinate plane. And it's exactly what it means. A plane is a surface, and this paper is a surface. This grid is a surface. Co, so that means two. Ordinate means numbers, so it's got two numbers on this grid or plane. Sometimes it's called the XY grid or plane, or XY axes, because it's axis, and the plural of that is axes. Here's what it is. It's a number line. You already know a number line. Let's say that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just a number line. Negative 2, 3, negative 4, negative 6, and it goes on forever. And then, like I said, coordinate, it's two numbers, x, y. This is called the x-axis. You already know the number line. Imagine taking the number line and turning it and setting it back down so that the positive numbers go up and the negative numbers go down. Still 0, it's just hard to see. So now up here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5, 6, there's 7. The numbers going up this way, and then down here the numbers go negative. 3, 4, negative 5, negative 6, there's negative 7, negative 2. So it's simply two number lines. That's all this grid is. The one you already know about, and if you picked it up and turned it and set it back down, the other one. That's all it is. Now the reason we talk about XY is because this is the x-axis. And then this line up here is called the y-axis. The Y number line. And we write, we're going to be plotting some numbers on here, and the way that it looks is we write the X number with a comma and then the Y number, and it's written inside parentheses. The X number is the horizontal number, like the horizon goes across, and the Y is the vertical number, goes up and down. And then another way to try to remember, which number is first? Well, X comes first in the alphabet, and so does Y, or Y comes next. The horizontal, the H comes in the alphabet before the V, so horizontal and vertical. The horizontal is like the horizon. And then we can just plot any points on this number line. For example, if I want to plot the point 2, 4, you can do this with any number. You find 2 on the x-axis, that's this one. You find 4 on the y-axis, it's up here, right there, and then see where they cross. Or you could say I go over 2 on the x-axis and I go up 4 because it's positive 4. That is the point 2, 4. So if I want to plot the point 7, 10, where would that be? You can push pause if you want. 7, you find 7 on the x-axis right here. And then you go up 10, you go 10 in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up there. That is the point 17. Well, what about the point 3.5, 4.5? Now I go over 3, let's see, 1, 2, 3.5. And I'm going to go up 4.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5. I'm right here in the middle of these grids. You can do that. You can have a point in the middle there. 3.5, 4.5. any number on the number line, you can graph. So whether it's a decimal fraction, anything you can graph. What if I wanted the number -8, 2? Well, if I -8 on the number line, it's on the first, on the X, on the horizontal. Let's see, so if there's -8, and then I go up 2, because it's a +2, that is -8, 2. You'll notice over here, all the X's are negative. The Y's are still positive because we're going above, we're going up in the number line. And then, let's see, a point -6, -3. So if I'm -6, and the -3, that means we're going to go down 3. Right here, that's -6, -3. And all the points down here, the X is negative, and the Y, because you're going down, the Y is negative as well. And then over here, if I did the point, 4, -5. I go over 4, and then -5, I come down here. This is the point that lines up with 4, -5. And you can see on here, the X's are positive, but the Y's are negative. So kind of the opposite on here where the X's are negative. So that's plotting points. This is called quadrant 1, where they're both positive, and then it just goes around in a counterclockwise circle. There's quadrant 2, this fourth of the Cartesian grid. This one right here is quadrant 3. Yep, I'm using Roman numbers to signify them. And then over here, 4, the Roman numeral 4 is IV. Roman number 4, quadrant 4. So quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. In quadrant 1, they're both positive. In quadrant 3, they're both negative. And in even quadrants, one of them is negative, one of them is positive. And that's just a quick introduction to the Cartesian plane, or the coordinate grid, or the XY axes. There you go. Hope it makes a little bit of sense. Thanks for watching.